G'day punters, welcome to the mailbag. Pete Anthonisz, Shane Ciurleo, Jackson Oldham here to look at the showdown as well as two of the feature races coming from Morphettville. But Curls, I'll start with yourself. How's current punting life treating you?
It's been okay. I've got to talk seriously for a moment. I've been seeing them really well and done my complete arse in March and, just got my head above water in April. They're either winning or running second. So I feel like I'm betting well. I'm just not getting the bob of the head. And it was literally a bob of the head that cost me filling up. Well, not necessarily bob of the head, but I thought I was in for a fill up yesterday and ended up breaking even with two horses going down that looked the winner.
I know exactly how that feels, to be honest. I'm still wondering if Wacom Tunkers held on from last Friday of Dash Dulls hit the front yet against Ellafella. I'll get over it in about a week's time. Jackson, welcome. Bendigo yesterday, it was very, very wet. How'd you find it?
It was extremely wet. We only had the one bet. It was moist. We had one bet for one winner, which was good. Almost pulled the trigger the winner in race 2, but didn't, so who really cares? It's been a bit of a boring week. Only had the one bet on Monday as well. So looking to actually have some bets. Okay. Caulfield and hopefully Flemington on Monday as well.
And can you give us an update on the NBA book? What's that looking like at the moment?
Torched. Completely torched. Oh. The MVP book's looking good, but it's going to mean little when I torch like 3 times that amount on the NBA championship because I've got the Suns running for me. Booker's out with an injury, so they've drifted a point and a half. I've got the Heat running for me, and I've got the Nets, which look like they're about to go 2-0 down. So plenty of setbacks on the NBA book front.
Did you want to leak anything from our chat group this morning about the NBA?
Oh, that yesterday's bet, do you mean, that we had in the chat group?
No, this morning's bet.
What was this morning's bet?
Me tipping up Boston at plus 5.5 at half time at $2.12 on Betfair.
To be honest, I didn't.
Sorry, you didn't miss it. You just didn't take any notice because it was me tipping NBA.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Right.
Anyway, ebook coming out soon. I'll be releasing it, so stay tuned.
Oh, and that's not.
They actually lead by. Hang on, sorry. They think they lead by 7. No, they lead by 7 with 4 to play. So I'm a chance.
Well, I'm fucking torched again. Brilliant.
Are the rumours also true that you two might be combining for an election one-off betting special extravaganza coming up?
Look, there's a bit going on in the space now. It's purely for entertainment purposes, Pistol. We've already bet.
Oh.
The prices are gone. We've smacked into them. I think I outlaid $112 last night total. Jackson and I will be getting together to do a little show on where we're at, and you can follow us or death ride us.
I can't imagine I'm going to add much, but I'll be there.
Well, look, I've reached out to the 3 major political parties: Australia First, Fishing and Hunting, and the Sex Party. So hoping that we get someone from there to come on, just to add a little bit of weight to our conversation.
Okay, well, I look forward to that.
You're the only one.
Sincerely. Okay, shall we have a look at some horses? Caulfield R6 The Showdown. Jackson, this is your race. You've got Bello Bow at $2.50. You've got Sir Bailey at $5.50. Ola Luja, that's $7.50. And then upwards from there, what are you finding in this year's showdown? There's been a cavalcade of massive winners over the years. I mean, horses that just roll off the tongue.
Yeah, Quay and Co. Look, we always get into a PVL about his midways and whatever else there is, Bondis and all that sort of stuff. But
the big dance.
Yeah, I don't even know half of them, but dead set. This is $1 million race that could be race 4 at Pakenham tonight. This is so grim. Um, Ballobo, Blinker's first time, Adam Trinder. I would have loved a jockey I know. McCool did slaughter it last start, but if he doesn't slaughter it here, it'll just be winning. $2.50 is a gift. Only danger looks to be the Mar Eustace runner, and that had every chance against it last start, and they pretty much crossed the line together. Ballobo never got out, has the SP over it. That Hallelujah, look, you can make the case 1,000 up to 1,200 suits, but its numbers are horrid. Mitch Aiken, Henry Dwyer, $7.50. Leave me out of that. And there's just nothing else in the race. So with even luck, Ballobo just wins.
Wowee.
Yeah.
I cannot see it getting beat unless it's a slaughter job.
Is there a chance there's a slaughter job? What price?
It's $2.50. So he's probably even money to slaughter it. So it's over. I reckon.
I like that. That actually makes a lot of sense when you say it that way.
It does, doesn't it? I'm not 100% sure of the qualifying conditions for this race, but it would seem to me that you'd have to be super Vobis qualified and paid up, because there's some horses there that haven't tacked on in their one career start that they're going to go for $1 million. Interesting that the historical figure for the race suggests overall benchmark required to win this race is negative 5.1.
Oh dear. And they probably won't hear this.
They probably won't get.
This actually is a worse race than the races of the previous years, I think.
Well, look, all it says to me is head over to mailbagbloodstock.com.au, register your interest, because we are currently looking at a number of yearlings that are Super Vobis qualified that, can just basically be able to put one leg in front of the other and race for $1 million next year.
Are we also looking at getting Widgie Turf out of the paddock and...
Is it not in?
Back on one of these days. It's probably like 11 years old now, but if we can just purchase it and get it back and just run it around here for third, one of these races, we'll pick up some cash. What a race.
Anyway, it's great. It's great prize money for the owners that are supporting the Victorian bred horses, Jacko. So
100%, mate.
Full credit to them and best of luck to everybody involved. But I completely concur with your position from a wagering standpoint.
Thank you.
It's disgraceful. And it looks immoral, that thing that you said, doesn't it?
It's just... I don't understand how it gets beat. Anyway.
Shall we head to Morphettville? Race 6 is the Irwin Stakes over 1,100 metres, and you've got Trekking favourite in the race at $3.20. Swats that is $3.70. Instant Celebrity $4.20. Bella Vella, back from the breeding barn, $8. And then you're up to Dexalation and Outlaw's Revenge at $11 each. Now, Jackson, there's been a few horses here that have been running around in Melbourne. Swats that comes from the Rocking Horse Straight Race, where it was on the inside of the track and behind them, but still managed to run fifth, I think, and beat everything on the outside fence. So that's one of the runners. And then also Instant Celebrity's just doing instant celebrity things by the looks of things. It's had 2 jump outs, 1 trial, and, they're all right. But, there's... Trekking, obviously, as well, wasn't suited at the Valley. And I don't think Trekking was suited at the start before either. So maybe there's a few excuses there. But $3 for a horse that's got Glenn Schofield on board... dicey behaviour,
and hasn't won for I don't know how many years. Swatch that is in race 7 at Caulfield as well with Ollie on, so I don't know where they'll go there.
But they've got the shins on in Adelaide.
Well, that's very true, Kills.
What's the race worth in Melbourne? Just quickly.
$250,000 against the likes of the Astrologist, Serious Suspect, and Lombardo.
So it could definitely beat up on them.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they go to Caulfield with Ollie. I'd be surprised if they don't.
Right. Well, that's a good pickup.
I also think it's not necessarily going to be suited in Adelaide. I mean, you're looking at this race, this field in general, and geez, there's not much speed in it, that's for sure. You've got Bella Vella, who's had a pretty quiet trial. And then
did you like its trial?
I thought
I didn't like
enough.
its trial that much.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I don't know.
It is hard to know, isn't it, with a horse that's coming back from a year off. You know, clearly her best figures and best numbers are going to be competitive in this field, but
right.
How would you know?
I suppose I looked at her trial as, is she back? Was she brilliant? She didn't show a ton of speed. She was asked to quicken. She wasn't just, wasn't strolling past them. The horse that was in the trial that went with her is an ex-Hong Kong galloper, I think. So yeah, I don't know. On her best, she's $3 favourite.
Yeah. Yeah.
With our only little question mark is the 1100 for me, with first up and a million months off, and
it's just otherwise a very stinky looking race. And to be honest, I would rather back the outsider Shimino at 30 to 1.
So would
I. Given the last start splits. I know it hasn't. Again, it's another horse that is making winning look like a real difficult task. But, the rest of them, it just looks like a complete raffle. I don't think Dexilation was doing enough going through the line to step up to, to maintain at 1100. And there's no form out of that Manor High. That looks like a real iffy looking race. I think there's been about 8 starters and none of them have even placed. Instant Celebrity, fair enough, but, not getting any spoil there. The price, Trekking, same deal. And I thought Outlaw's Revenge, its trial was pretty fair as well, despite being, really hot form race first up last prep. So it basically, for me, is a tiny bet on Shimino. If you could tell me that Bella Villa was going to turn up, it's certainly a bet. But how would you know otherwise?
Well, the market might tell us. I'm with you, Shimino. As you say, winning is difficult, but...
And the Mountie Yard Mail, it'll be in the numbers. It's an awesome parader, Shimino, so it'll be in the numbers, I'd imagine.
I think the other thing, just watch that, it's already a multiple Group 3 winner, and it's a mare. So, I thought, if it was only a listed winner and maybe they'd want to try and win a Group 3 for pedigree upgrade, but it's already a multiple Group 3 winner. This is a Group 3 race, so surely it stays in Melbourne for the cash.
Yep.
It's either Shins in Adelaide or Pipes in Melbourne on board, and I'm leaning with you. I'm going.
Yeah, and it's
going to Melbourne.
And it's it only has 55 in Melbourne. It's right on the minimum, and it's probably the highest rated horse, one of the highest rated horses in the race, I'd imagine, without looking. So anyway,
I think that's probably enough on the Irwin. No great push for anything there, but the Redelva race 8, the listed race, is actually really interesting. You've got Bacchanalia favourite at $3.90. Hearsey is $6. Manhattan Times, I Am Me are both around that $7.58 mark. Champagne Dreams $9 with Magic Max, who was slaughtered their last start at Caulfield. And it's good to see Magic Max here drawn a gate with
a jockey.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if Lachlan Neindorf, I'm not sure I can call him my man, but, he might be if he wins on Magic Max. But what's the starting point, girls? I guess it probably has to be Hearsey, doesn't it? I mean, the last 2 starts on heavy tracks and just running monster figures, but geez, Nash had to do everything that Nash had to get that thing to win last start.
Well, yeah, we're looking at a couple of similar profiles here with both the Blue Jackets with those heavy track runs and heavy track form. You can dig a little bit deeper into the Heresy form. Is that how you say it?
That's probably correct. As opposed to
it did win on the heavy last start, but then before that was 1.9 to Fangirl on a better surface.
Yeah.
Where if you look at Bacchanalia, heavy, soft, heavy. I don't know whether those soft tracks are actually soft tracks either. It was probably heavier than soft. Yes, but You got to sort of go back a fair way to find some, some good track form for Bacchanali, don't you? With Profiteer and King of Sparta, beaten comfortably both times on margins. But anyway, so similar profiles, aren't they, with those heavy track runs? But I don't know, I don't know what to make of it.
I'll put it this way. I can't have Bacchanali being that dominant as a favourite. In fact, I don't even have it favourite. I know it was 3 wide, no cover last start and completely not suited against the day. I know it won second up last prep, but geez, you're really having to be very generous to attribute a figure that's going to be good enough to beat some of these other horses.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the prices here at the minute. One sec. Wrong page. Magic Max sort of, I don't know, he sort of looks half a betting opportunity to me at $9 some places.
Yeah.
I think it maps okay. I wouldn't profess to be a expert mapper by any stretch in South Australia or anywhere for that matter. But, the horses inside him, well, really, realistically, it's probably, Jesus, can we just name our horses that you can pronounce? The 4, Cerades.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably finds the fence first of the horses drawn directly inside him. Not sure what this Grant Young runner, Bam Ya Buddha, it's an emergency that gets the run, but and then you've got Bacchanalia, Al Heidi, Champagne Dreams, Direct that will go forward, and Magic Max might accidentally land in that gun spot here.
Our Heidi will go back, I reckon. From 10 off a spell, winkers off, tongue tie on.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch a trial or a jump out? Our Heidi. It produced a really good number first up last prep, and then we backed it at Flemington second up, and it was 3 out of 7s and was beaten 10 lengths. So.
Yeah.
Also, any love I Am Me, Mar Oustis?
Yeah. So that's got this red flag all over it. It's been smashing the class benchmark at Canberra and was it Ballarat?
Yeah, Ballarat.
And both of them best performances on the day. It's the one that has a huge amount of upside, and you just don't know really. But at $8, I think you have to have something on because it could be one of those where it just goes completely off on the day. So it and Magic Max are the way that I was leaning at those prices early, and with Heresy, I'll probably have to save it at that price. No idea where it gets to from that gate, but probably well back, 3 wide with cover. Morphettville can be very, very turbulent in terms of what lanes are going to be best suited. So I think you just have to trust the fact that there's going to be some speed drawn out wide, and it probably tails something 3 wide into the race. It's not necessarily a winning bet for me, but I'm not losing on it just based on those recent figures. But that's the way I'm looking at this race: is I Am Me and Magic Max for the good collect there.
Yeah,
with you.
I was the exact same, but then I'd just have to trust Al Nindorf and Harry Coffey, but
they are.
I'll just cop the. I'm also backing B. McCall at Caulfield, so I may as well just cop the torture all day. Really.
Yeah, but they're only as good as what they're riding against, and I'd be happy to be on Harry Coffey against.
True.
Any of them.
Yeah.
For sure. His riding seems to be right. Well, I don't know if he's riding well or not. He seems to be on Twitter a lot, on Racing.com's Twitter, riding winners. So that's as much data as I can add to jockey ranks.
When he gets them wrong, he gets them really wrong. So that probably sticks in my mind that I'm a little bit worse than probably what his stats are.
Okay, well maybe you should get on Twitter and say that, so then he can reply and you can coach him through.
Yeah, I'll probably get shot if I do that again. Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, so let's sum that race up as we're betting, and we're backing I Am Me and we're backing Magic Max.
Yep.
We're taking on the Blue Jackets, and we're taking on Heresy, Heavy Track, Form, and Map. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say that because Pistol, you'll probably chop out on it.
Yeah, look, I think that's probably the one I want to chop out. I think just at the current market, I just can't get Bacchanalia anywhere near $3.70, $3.80, $3.90. So I think if you're able to play early, you can start just investing away and building a bit of a book around this race.
For anyone interested in, if you can't get it to that price, what price do you have it? Somewhere around about $8 if we're looking at the same data.
Yeah, I've got it marked around $7.50.
Okay, so it'll start $2.90 and piss in then.
Well,
Last week,
of course.
last week we were saying, I've got to be on this thing. It'll shorten. It's $4. You know, starts 6 and pisses in. Or you took $6.50 on the fair and pisses in.
Too strong.
Too good. What a lackluster sort of thing that's Saturday's racing. Is there anything going on in Sydney? I didn't look. I assume you guys have done the preview.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. That's tomorrow morning.
There'll be $1 million race there somewhere, won't there?
Surely.
Oh, probably.
Surely.
A racing, even though at Caulfield, even though it's the off season, this weird meeting, it actually looks half a betting meeting. I'm quite excited.
I'm excited that you're excited.
Well, then we're all excited, aren't we?
Oh, I'm not. Just having a look through the Randwick meeting, there is no $1 million race. So can I make a recommendation to PVL and Racing New South Wales that they create a race called the Hangover, which is for horses that were nominated in better races over the last month or 2 months, weren't good enough, maybe ran last in a feature race, and they get to go and compete for $1 million.
Well, there's been... Yeah, that's a great idea because there would be 13 to somewhere between 13 and 20 feature races.
Yep.
And everyone that ran last in those feature races should be able to race for $1 million at the end of the carnival. It's a great idea.
Yep.
Is there a concert or an after party after the last in the Mounting Yard this week? Or what's the go there? Do we know?
Surely.
Not sure.
Because if there is, turnover will be up, you'd think.
I am not sharing anything on Twitter ever again about turnover.
Okay, just
Like,
while we're on
I
that,
either
Curls.
live in the Matrix. I probably shouldn't finish that. I live in wonderment at the human race, and particularly those that participate in racing and wagering.
Was there a standout response from what you posted regarding turnover at Oakbank versus Pakenham? Was there one standout performance or reply that you received that you thought should be made mention of?
Oh, look, not really. There's too many. There's too many. And I think the thing that stuck out to me is that the responses that bewildered me came from all levels of participation in the great game.
Yeah.
I'll just interject by saying that for the jumps meeting at Pakenham, there was about 43 people there. So, do with that what you will, but what a sport.
Yeah.
What a sport.
I don't know where else to go with that. There's a place for everything. Victoria is the home of jumps racing in Australia. They have a nice little niche circuit that could be, padded out a little bit better so it looks like a home and away season to a grand final type scenario. Like instead of having, the hurdle championships, after Warrnambool and the hurdle and the steeple championships before or whatever, like they could make a nice little series out of it, nice little circuit out of it.
But does anybody care, really?
No, absolutely not. But that's not for us.
I was going to say, isn't saying Victoria is the home of jumps racing in Australia like saying that Scotland is the home of the caber toss, or whichever country that rolls the cheese down the hill is the home of that? I mean,
Yeah, no, you're right. The haggis eating championships outside of Scotland doesn't carry as much weight, does it?
Yeah, it really doesn't.
No, it's like the Frisbee Golf World Championships or the American Football World Championships don't get played in, Italy, do they?
No.
Anyway.
On that note, we've got...
But there's a lot of passionate racing people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
bless their cotton socks as well. It's great if you're actually
Absolutely.
on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, it's irrelevant to your life and to everyone else's life that is not on Twitter or engages with racing Twitter people.
Someone said that to me during the week, that racing doesn't like solely exist on Twitter. And I just took a step back and thought about that for a moment and had a look, and he was right. I was shocked.
You do feel like you're alienated at times, but in a good way. You know, it's like ignorance is bliss completely. You don't have people yelling at you. You don't have people saying awful things about each other. You don't have people complaining. You don't have people just being negative all the time. You can actually just go outside and enjoy people's company who want to be there. I mean, when I put it that way.
What's it like?
It's really blissful. It's nice. I really enjoy it. Everyone else stuck on Twitter.
Your wait is over.
Is that me?
Best Marvel movie of all time.
Oh, wait.
What is that?
Who's watching you jump out?
Sorry.
Okay, let's wrap it up. We've got Mounting Yard Mail from Adelaide. Damo is back this week for the next 5 weeks at Morphettville for the carnival, so that's very exciting. I've got Mounting Yard Mail from Ascot Saturday and Monday. Jackson, you've got Mounting Yard Mail from Caulfield Saturday and Flemington Monday.
Correct.
All right, very good, very good. Curls, you're probably betting an 18 joints over the space of 72 hours.
Yeah. Aquas Park Gold Coast on Saturday, as alongside Dolby, Doomben. Not sending the runner to Julia Creek, Longreach or Yeppoon, but we'll glance at the data.
Yep.
And then Sunday's the Sunshine Coast, and then the public holiday Monday race meetings that don't work is at Aquas Park Bow Desert on Monday.
I only don't work if they're always on Monday. Kills.
Oh, so it had to be tied to Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if the public holiday Monday is this year, but it's Tuesday next year,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
I'm sure
Excellent.
that means
Thanks for that.
But
thanks for clearing that up.
No worries, mate.
we've also got Rob Scurry on course at Randwick. Mark Roden's going to be firing off bets at Kembla, Randwick, and then there's Gosford and Kenzo on Monday as well. So with too much racing is not enough racing. We get double nominations and all sorts of bizarre smaller fields that I'm sure Jackson alluded to at some point. They're on Racing Twitter and came into an argument with someone because that's Racing Twitter. No comment. It's probably
No comment. Let's wrap it up.
All right, guys. Thanks very much. Enjoy the weekend, the long weekend. Plenty going on, but we'll catch up next week and we'll talk about it then.
Great stuff. Thanks. Looking forward to it.